Nice.
Daily Dose. My name's Robert here with Susan, my dear. We are talking about ChatGPT. Look, AI is the thing in the world, right? This is everybody's talking about AI, as I think we should. This is probably the biggest revolution of maybe the last 20, maybe the last 50 years. How we don't know the impacts. So
Yeah.
we're going to focus on our lane, which I think is really wise. Rather than trying to speak broadly about it, let's talk about how we use it in cinema therapy. Our class, which please click on the link for more about what that is. We have been helping people now for a little over a year with the use of ChatGPT to, in my opinion, be a lot more confident, a lot more productive, a lot more creative. And it's not been a one-way road. We've had a lot of zigs and zags. So that's my overview. I want you to tell me about your experience, your journey with your relationship with ChatGPT and where it's at now.
I love what you said. You said confident, productive, and creative. Those things are enhanced. I would completely agree with that. As a prelude, I will say that I and others were so confused about the whole concept of AI and whatever. So if people are still there, you're not alone. What I would hope that people would do would be give it a chance. Just play with it. See it as almost like something to play with. Just a not for a course, but just see what it can do. It's amazing.
Well, and we'll get into, we have a broad workshop for people who aren't ready to step into cinema therapy, but do want to just play, like you said. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Mhm.
Within our class, like you said, a lot of questions. We had one really, I think, brave leader in Daryl, right? Daryl was the first guy to lean in and really do some amazing stuff. And all of us kind of going, whoa, with it. But it's
I
still,
didn't know he was using ChatGPT
did
when
you
he
not
did
know that?
the beautiful thing with all the instruments in the orchestra and stuff. This was like a year and a half ago or something. I was stunned. I just thought he was
Well,
amazing.
and in fairness to Daryl, because this is the conversation, people say, oh, does that mean he was just cheating? It was doing it for him. No, I don't think that was the case. So Daryl, as it turns out, has a background in tech. So he was inherently confident or at least curious, right, within
Yeah,
this
yeah.
to go further quicker. What I noticed from a pain point within cinema therapy was people were struggling to get in their 1 page a week. The workload was that they loved the concept if they wanted, but even 1 page a week felt sometimes cumbersome, especially with the process with which I ask. Is, as you know, vomit draft, share it with a trusted partner, rewrite, then submit. And
Mhm.
here's the thing that why that fits into ChatGPT structure. The problem, one of the problems with ChatGPT is if you go and say, write this for me, and then you take what it does and you go done, because now ChatGPT has done the work and people worry about plagiarism, things like that. I think that's a legit concern. But if you take it, say, here's what I'm thinking, it gives you something, then you work with another person, and then you go back and you rewrite based on that. That's washing the work along the way. And to me, clarifying the opportunity to make it again more your own.
Okay, I'm gonna pull you back a little bit.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I
please.
said play a minute ago, um, I actually meant in the exact thing you're just talking about to to see what it can do. So if the first thing we're going to do is write something about the ordinary world for a cinema therapy course, um, whatever, it's just so cool, Robert, because it's like a tool. I guess people say all the time, but it jump starts you. So if like the very first thing I wrote in my very first rendition of my current story, my ordinary world was completely different. I didn't know what it meant to write that, and so I thought, oh, I just had a picture and it was like a movie in my mind, and I wrote that whole scene, and it was too much stuff. There were too many words and too many things, and so I didn't. I threw that all away, and then eventually picked landed on a couple three characters, and that really helped. So what I have learned is the cleaner the information I can give ChatGPT, the more it's my information. So if someone did what you said, just said, write my ordinary world, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get you're going to get hamstrung by that version of ChatGPT's version of your story until you change it.
So many things you said were great. I'll just hit on the last piece and we'll go to the next episode just to say that you're right. This, what one of the pitfalls we've seen is people can take what ChatGPT and says and go, well, that must be right. And here's one of the just foundational premises we need to, and ChatGPT is so generous about this and thoughtful. I talk about like a being, but it says ChatGPT makes mistakes, speaking about itself in the third person. I think that has to be the ruling principle. We cannot take what it says as the truth or as right. It is an assistant. And
Yeah,
you hinted
yeah.
to it right there, your exact relationship. Let's continue. We're just scratching the surface on this.
Okay.
We'll be back on our next dose. Great stuff.
Okay.